Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now Digital News Update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT Digital Studio. Jacksonville police have confirmed that the FBI has been called in for a homicide case of a transgender person. Police responded to a call of a body in the area of Ellis Boulevard and White Street back on February 24th. There, they found the body of Jenna Franks in a wooded area close to a creek. Information led investigators to believe the case was a murder. No word right now on a motive, but anyone with information is asked to call the JPD. Nash County officials are investigating a shooting that left 2 people injured on Sunday afternoon. Deputies were called to a home in Battleboro located in the Drake community. At the time deputies arrived, the 2 people had already been taken to a hospital by a neighbor. Investigators say it appears the victims were sitting in a vehicle in the driveway when an unknown suspect or suspects approached from the rear of the vehicle and began shooting. Both victims sustained non-life-threatening gunshots. They were treated at UNC Nash Hospital and released on Sunday night. Anyone with information about the shooting is asked to contact the Nash County Sheriff's Office. An Augusta veteran and mother of 5 has created a new parental monitoring and learning app for kids. Mary Calkins with our sister station in Augusta, Georgia, has the story.
Jennifer Flagg says during the pandemic, she noticed an incredible increase in her kids' phone usage. And when she started searching for a parental monitoring app, she couldn't find one that suited her family's needs. So she created her own.
Nothing like this exists. There's nothing. There are some great parental control apps and there's some great educational apps, but there's nothing that marries the two together.
Flagg started working with an app development team in September, and they worked together to create an app that allows parents to monitor their kids' phones from their own.
The app is called Brain Break. It's got 4 main features. One feature allows the parent to set a daily allotment of screen time.
Once a child has reached their allotted screen time, all apps are automatically locked. The next feature allows the parent to set a schedule, like disabling apps during school hours. And it allows parents to set brain breaks during screen time to promote learning.
And they would do grade level appropriate work, math questions, English reading, whatever. As a parent, I can choose if I want the break to be according to time. Every 15 minutes, take a 5-minute break.
The final feature allows parents to see what apps are on their kids' phones, and parents can block specific apps. Flagg says she believes this feature will encourage conversations about safety between parents and kids.
I feel like the children, they need to learn, but just giving them free rein, especially at the young ages kids are getting phones now, that's concerning for me.
A subscription to the app will be $10 a month, and parents can download it on an unlimited amount of devices. And it will launch this weekend on the Google Play Store. In Augusta, Mary Calkins, WJBF News Channel 6.
The release of a new 4-part series from WNCT and a bald eagle rescue that people have been following. That and more coming up after this short break.
Severe weather can make life difficult, especially here in the East. Dropping temperatures, school closings, freezing rain, ice and snow.
Gusty winds over 20 miles an hour.
A freezing fog advisory is in effect.
Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson and his team of weather experts keep you ahead of any storm.
And this rain shield continues to pump in.
Storm Team 9, keeping you safe in severe weather. Happens in the WNCT Digital Studio is online for you. Live afternoon news updates.
Continuing to track COVID-19 cases.
Don't forget the positive news with Feel Good Friday.
How about we break out some dance moves to kick off your weekend? Remember to see the good in each day.
And if you're looking for your next eatery, Digital Dining has you covered.
Tonight we're visiting Cucina La Mantilla. We visit Blend in Jacksonville. We're visiting La Cocina del Colqui.
These and more on WNCT Now under the live stream tab.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT digital studio, bringing you some evening updates. WNCT is bringing you live streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscast. Now, a story that many have been following this past week, a bald eagle that was struck by a vehicle and then rescued by an Albany, New York state trooper. Earlier this week, our sister station in Albany has more on how the bald eagle is responding to treatment at a local wildlife center.
This is Freedom. He's a bald eagle and a fighter. On Tuesday, drivers on Route 17 in Blooming Grove saw Freedom on the side of the road. He was hit in the chest by a car. Several drivers made calls out to state police, and Missy Runyon, founder of Friends of the Feathered and Furry Wildlife Center in Hunter.
I have to make sure that we're getting a healthy bird back out there.
Freedom is recovering from a massive head injury. Since Tuesday, Missy says he has been doing a lot better. He's breathing on his own, his vision is improving, and the bruising went down.
With the right treatment, the right care, the right enclosures, the right physical therapy, we can get him back. The fact that he didn't lose an eye in the trauma, he lost vision. If he lost one eye, I mean the trauma was to the eye itself, I would have had less hope.
Trooper Brian Whalen was one of the responding officers, and he did everything in his power to rescue this 10-pound beauty. He used his jacket and a canine trooper's bite sleeve to corral the eagle into a kennel.
He's smacking. He's definitely not going quietly into a jacket today.
Lead is just as toxic for birds as it is for humans. Wild birds are poisoned by lead every year. They will accidentally ingest lead shotgun pellets. Luckily, Freedom's lead levels were low. That's something rare to see.
I can get one that just has road trauma. I'm like, dude, we'll get you back home. I promise you, ASAP. I can't make that same promise with lead.
Missy is optimistic the 5-year-old bird will be okay and released into the sky in the coming weeks.
You know, he's waiting to be tough. He just has to figure out what he's fighting, what he's fighting.
Reporting Jen Seelig, News 10 ABC.
An idea that started nearly a year ago because of the pandemic is helping those in need to put food on their table. Lasagna Love of Pitt County is helping deliver free meals. Now on your side, Ford Sanders shares more about this organization.
A hot meal is one thing that people have needed over the last year of the pandemic. Now a nationwide initiative is making sure those in Pitt County are getting the food they need.
No strings attached. We're just other people in the community that want to love on other people in the community and provide a simple meal.
That meal is lasagna. Lasagna Love was started nearly a year ago in response to the food insecurity due to the pandemic.
And it was a mom in California who just felt helpless with everything going on with the pandemic. And she posted in a Facebook group of, hey, I'm making an extra lasagna. Can anybody use any?
The group has now hit a milestone of 40,000 lasagnas being delivered nationwide. Kim Cosda is the group's Pitt County regional leader. She says it's not just families experiencing hardships during the pandemic.
It's a wide range of families that we serve. That it is some families that have been impacted by COVID, that they've had job loss, income loss, different dynamics, different things going on. But sometimes there's other things going on.
She also explains that people in need shouldn't feel embarrassed during these times.
It's okay to ask for help, and that, we want people to know that there's people out there that want to love on you.
Cosda hopes to see Lasagna Love go beyond Pitt County as the need stretches across eastern North Carolina. She says they recognize the struggles people are facing.
Sometimes when you're in the middle of a storm, it is hard to see that there's people that will help out.
Unlike me, if you can cook, you can sign up to become a Lasagna Love volunteer. Now that hot meal that you create might be the help that someone needs. I'll have more information at WNCT.com on ways that you can get involved. In Greenville, Ford Sanders, 9 on your side.
Silent Not Gone, a new 4-part series from WNCT all about the opioid crisis in eastern North Carolina. Not on your sides, Victoria Holmes looks into the different aspects of the opioid crisis, from speaking with an EMT on the front lines to law enforcement and the steps they're taking to bring awareness and safety to the issue. Today, part 2 has been released. You'll hear from Pitt County Sergeant Lee Darnell about how law enforcement handles these cases. You can stay tuned every week for a new series release of Silent, Not Gone. That's going to wrap up this WNCT Now Evening News Update. We have more news coming up for you tonight on our broadcast at 5, 6, 10, and 11. Be sure to stay tuned for that for all of the latest stories going on nationwide and here in the East. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your Monday.